whole movie just sucks. Iron Man 2, worst movie, worst Marvel movie.
I thought it was awesome. Tony Stark gets drunk.
He gets drunk in every movie.
Blows up his own party.
He blew up his own house in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number? No,
Wait, what was 22?
Iron Man 3.
For you? And you?
Mine's Iron Man 2.
Oh, okay. We're on what, 21? Okay.
What's your 21, Dad?
I put Hulk 1 and Hulk 2.
So just Hulk 2?
Both of them suck.
Okay, so for the sake of this argument, Hulk 2 only. That movie sucks. It's boring. Or, yeah, they're both pretty bad, I guess.
The only thing good about it is it's not Iron Man 3.
Oh my god. Not even the last fight between Hulk and Abomination?
No.
Okay.
It's terrible.
My number 21 is Age of Ultron.
My number 21 is...
No, hey.
Oh, go ahead.
Age of Ultron is so dumb and boring, and it doesn't do anything to advance any of the characters except Hawkeye, who is nobody's favorite Avenger. Ultron in the comics is like this hardcore killing machine, and in the movie he's some jokester. It makes no sense. It's stupid. None of the jokes are funny. The movie's just boring, and it looks ugly. It's just a bad movie. So my number 21 is Age of Ultron.
My number 20
Yeah.
is Captain America 1.
Mm.
Very boring.
Yeah.
Very boring.
That's all you have to say about it.
It's a good movie to put on when you want to go to sleep.
My number 20 is also Captain America 1. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. It's not a very good movie. My we have the same number 20.
Mm-hmm.
You think that'll happen for any other movies?
Well, my number 19 is Age of Ultron, so it's pretty close.
Okay.
It was a terrible movie. Thor was in a pool of water dancing
Naked.
around, naked. Terrible.
My number 19 is Incredible Hulk. But for the sake, we'll put Hulk 1 and Hulk 2. They both suck. The first one is some pretentious art film about letting go of your anger or some crap. And then the second movie is just Edward Norton running around with this stupid baby face talking science for 2 hours. Makes no sense. Boring. Okay, what number are we on? We're number 18.
I put Thor.
The first one?
The first Thor. Boring. Boring.
I put the second Thor as 18. Boring. That's what I would say about Thor 2. It's not funny.
But at least with Thor 2, it advances the story and it's referenced in Endgame. Thor 1 doesn't do anything.
But Thor 1 is like pretty funny.
Like what part?
Another. I need a horse. Those are funny.
I guess.
Okay, well, yeah, my number 18 is Thor 2. Thor 2 sucks. It's only good when Loki's on screen, and he's barely in the movie. So. Number 17.
I put Ant-Man and the Wasp.
For 17?
Yeah, I actually like that movie, but it's just not as good as the other movies. It seems like it's kind of thrown together.
Yeah. We'll get to that when I guess I get to mine. My number 17 is Thor 1. I like it. I would never watch it again. Chris Hemsworth was alright, you know.
We're actually pretty close on a lot of these.
Yeah. I feel like it's the top 10 that we're going to differ on.
Yeah, number 16 for me was Thor 2 Dark World. It's boring, but it advances the story, so that's why I beat out Ant-Man. Because Ant-Man 2, you really don't beat Ant-Man 2.
My number 16 is Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, so we're right there.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is funny. It's a pretty funny movie, but it's not really it's not very memorable. And the story's pretty flat. There's really no story. They just have to get the lab back. The villain was pretty lame. Some of the action was pretty neat, but other than that, it's just kind of whatever.
And my number 15 was Captain Marvel.
That was my number 15 too.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
It was okay.
It was alright.
I mean, it was alright. She was a little overpowered.
Yeah. I think she was miscast.
Yeah.
I think they should have gotten somebody else. Yeah, we have the same one for 15. That's crazy. Yeah. Captain Marvel. 14,
I got Doctor Strange.
What do you think?
I liked it. I mean, visually it's pretty good. Just the other Marvel movies are better. I mean, it's very similar to Iron Man, but the visuals are pretty good. So,
all right. My number 14 is gonna be kind of controversial. My number 14 is the first Guardians.
That's ridiculous.
I like it. It's a really good movie. It's just like I didn't really, love it as much as everybody else did. I thought it was fine. I thought it was really good and emotional, but I wish it. Well, for one, I think for a movie in space, it's not very colorful, and I didn't really like Star-Lord in the first one. I thought he was kind of weak. I thought a lot of the characters, other than Rocket, like Drax in Guardians 1, is super weak.
What about Yondu?
He was so weak in Guardians 1. And Ronan, weak. Terrible villain. Ronan's a terrible villain.
I disagree. I
13.
think Guardians is a really good movie.
13.
13 is Black Panther.
That's also my 13.
You know, everybody liked it a lot.
It was
okay.
fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
Even the visuals weren't that good.
I like Killmonger's like his reasoning, but the fight scenes weren't that great.
Yeah, and Black Panther's really not that interesting a character. Like it would have been cool if maybe he was a good warrior, but he wasn't a good king, or if he was a good king and not a good warrior. But he just seems to be pretty decent.
He doesn't really grow as a character. He's pretty much
Really?
the same character at the beginning and the same character at the end.
Yeah, that was another problem I had with Ant-Man 2. Ant-Man or Wasp, neither of them really grew.
Cool.
Doctor Strange, say we will the movie, he grew. He's a totally different person by the end. Black Panther's my number 13.
Yeah. Number 12, I got Iron Man 2.
What? Iron Man 2?
That's got a lot of action.
No, Iron
Got
Man
a
2
lot
is
of
so
action.
bad.
You know, War Machine comes into his own as a superhero. He's not
War
a
Machine
sidekick.
is nobody's favorite superhero.
He basically saves Iron Man. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. Spider-Man makes his appearance in Iron Man 2.
But we didn't know that when it came out.
But I know that.
Oh my god.
So
Iron
I
Man
mean,
2 is terrible.
basically, Iron Man 2 is a Spider-Man prequel. So
No, wait, he's in it for like 2 seconds and he doesn't even...
Iron Man 2, number 12.
Whatever. My number 12 is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was alright. Benedict Cumberbatch was good. The character, I think the best part was the character. I think they did him really well. The villain was pretty weak. The visuals were good. I just thought the action, other than when crazy things were going on, I thought the movie was kind of bland. I didn't really think it was that funny. A lot of the humor kind of fell flat for me. But overall, pretty good watch. Pretty decent flick. And I like the way he beats the villain by not like overpowering him, by just tricking him. Basically, I like that. So now we're on number 11, which is the second half.
It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man number 11. And growing up watching Spider-Man's a great character. But this is a boring-ass movie.
But it's better than Black Panther and Doctor Strange?
Yeah, because it has Spider-Man in it.
That's the only reason?
I like Spider-Man. I wish it wasn't such a boring movie.
Why is it boring?
I don't know why they made it boring.
No, I mean, like, what makes it boring? The stuff in school?
You know, they already covered his origin story, so why not make it cool? You know, just have him kicking ass. But instead they have him, you know, wandering around. He blows up a ferry and then he fixes it. I don't know. The Vulture, they fight and you can't even tell what's happening.
But the Vulture's great.
The Vulture, I wouldn't say the Vulture's great. I think Michael Keaton's great.
What?
But when he's the actual Vulture, you can't even tell what's happening.
The best scene with Michael Keaton is he's not even in the suit.
Right.
It's him
So Michael
directing.
Keaton's great, but the Vulture not so much.
My number 11 is... My number 11 is Avengers 1.
That's ridiculous.
I love Avengers 1. These, like, the top 11 are, like, movies that I really love. Avengers 1 is good. I just think it's kind of dated, though. Compared to what we see now, it's kind of dated.
It's the first time that they ever made a movie like that, where they had all those people come together and it worked.
Yeah, but even for the time, it's kind of cheesy. Because you had Iron Man, which was pretty grounded and had a lot of realistic dialogue. Avengers was, like, even at the time, it was pretty cheesy. But it's still a lot of fun. That's why it's, you know, in my top half. I think it's really good. I just don't think it's...
I have it higher.
My number 10.
Guardians 2.
Why?
I like Guardians 2. It's got a lot of action. It's got a lot of comedy. Yondu dies. It's got a lot of colors.
Why do you like Guardians 1 better?
Because Guardians 1 introduces the characters.
My number 10 is Ant-Man, the first one.
That's close. My number 9 is Ant-Man.
Okay.
So we're pretty
So we'll
close
just
to that one.
combine it. I like the first Ant-Man. It's a lot of fun. I think the villain's pretty lame. I think the movie kind of looks a little bland. But Paul Rudd's great, and when the scene where they first show Ant-Man shrinking, that scene's really cool. I think the movie is it's fun, but it's not, again, kind of like the second Ant-Man. I wish it had a bit more story to it.
I like that Ant-Man doesn't take itself too seriously. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's in my top 10.
Okay. So my number 8.
No, you're number 9.
Oh, my number 9 is Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Hela is a boring villain. She's so bland.
That's ridiculous. She kills everybody.
She's boring though. I
How's
thought
she boring?
even she's just like she
She
just
destroyed Thor's
wants to take
family.
over Asgard. Who cares? I even thought Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp was a better villain than.
Ghost is a terrible villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
She's not
She's not even
terrible,
a villain.
but she's better than Hela. She's more interesting. At least she has something going on.
No.
Hela is Thor's sister, and they barely talk about it. Like Thor never thinks, "Oh, that's my sister."
No.
But still, the movie's really funny. It's really good. Jack Goldblum's great by just being himself. The visuals, it's probably visually the best looking Marvel movie. That and Guardians 2, I would think. Thor's great. I love how they made him funny. Loki's great. Hulk is great. Valkyrie's great.
Valkyrie is good.
And is there anything else? Oh, and I liked the Executioner. I thought he was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
So that's my number 9.
My number 8 is Iron Man.
Okay, yeah, that's
Iron Man's good. It's a good movie. It kicked off the universe. The big chance they took making it.
Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback role.
Yeah, the villain's good. Everything's good about Iron Man. I like Iron Man.
My number 8 is Iron Man 3.
Terrible.
Iron Man 3 is everything I would want in an Iron Man movie.
No Iron Man? Is that what you want?
No, Tony Stark is the interesting one. Iron Man's just the suit. Tony Stark he's great. He's funny. He goes through an arc throughout the movie. Pepper Potts, she actually is useful. She helps him at the end. And the movie is really funny. It's really funny. And
what's funny?
Everything. When Tony Stark visits the kid, that scene is hilarious.
I think I was sleeping.
That Iron Man 3 is really good. You heard it here. Number 7.
Infinity War.
Number 7?
Yeah, Infinity War is a good movie.
It's not in your top 5?
No, because my top 5 are 5 badass freaking movies. Infinity War is good. I like it. It sets up Endgame. You know, everybody dies. Yeah, it's good. I like the villains. Well, I like everything about Infinity War.
My number 7 is Guardians 2. Really like Guardians 2. Liked it a lot more than the first one. Love the villain. Kurt Russell's great. All the characters are great. It's really funny. It's really great looking. Yondu dies. It's great. The post-credit scene with Adam Warlock, I'm really interested to see where that goes. In Guardians 3. Yeah, it's just really good. It's really funny. I love Guardians 2.
My number 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy. A much better movie than Guardians 2.
Guardians 1 is...
It introduces all the characters. Groot dies, saving everybody.
But then he just gets replaced.
By a different Groot, though. It's not
That's
the same
got to
Groot.
turn up to become...
It's not the same Groot, though. He's dead.
I guess.
It's sad. It really builds on the on Thanos and the overarching storyline. It's a good movie.
My number 6 is Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier's freaking awesome.
Winter Soldier's not in your top 5?
I kind of flip flopped it with number 5. I was kind of flip flopping, and I think it might change if I see the movie again. But number 6 is Winter Soldier. Great drama, great action. Probably the best action in the entire MCU. Black Widow's great. It's not that funny, but it's not really trying to be funny, so you can't really fault it for that. Even though I knew Bucky was Winter Soldier from the comics, if I didn't, I would think it's a great twist. I think most people didn't see it coming. It introduces the Falcon, who's gonna become the Captain America in the future. It's just really good. It's really good.
What are we on, 5?
Yeah.
Avengers.
Number 1.
Number 5 is Avengers. It was the very first team up of all the superheroes. It was very hard to do. It could have, been an Age of Ultron type disaster, but it wasn't. It was a great movie. It had a great villain. Had a good storyline. It brought everybody together in a way that was organic. It was just good.
Let me tell you something about Avengers 1. It looks like a TV show. It looks like ABC.
Because they didn't have the same budget as
For the
Endgame.
Avengers?
It was pretty good.
Iron Man looks more like a blockbuster than an Avengers.
Iron Man?
The first one, yeah.
I don't have a single Iron Man in my top 5. None of the Iron Man movies. None of them.
I have 1 in the top 5. Number 5 for me is weird because I think it's number 5, but I have a lot of problems with it. Number 5 is Endgame. And I think the movie has plenty of issues. But it's not they're not like huge complaints. They're more like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Like, why is it that Hulk, when he gets a gauntlet, he's in a lot of pain, but when Tony Stark does it, he's fine and he snaps or whatever? How come Nebula didn't tell them that one of them would have to die for the Soul Stone? But when you get all that out of the way, the movie builds on the characters. It's a great ending for this story. Oh, last complaint, Thanos. They didn't ruin Thanos, but they basically turned him into just another bad guy, and I didn't like that. I didn't like what they did with Thanos in this movie, and to a lesser extent, Thor. But
I like Thor.
yeah, I like Thor too, but I thought they should have pushed the sadness a little more.
How much sadder did he get? He was like 500 pounds.
They were making a lot of jokes.
Yeah, they were painful jokes.
Number 5 is Endgame, especially for the last battle. Probably the best fight scene in the MCU ever. It's basically like a combination of the Wakanda fight in Infinity War and the airport fight in Civil War. Endgame, number 5, and then I have 4 more movies.
Endgame number 4. So I have Endgame as number 4. I liked it a little bit better. I thought the fight scene at the end was awesome. I thought the Thor's arc was awesome.
Did you like Thanos?
Yeah, I like Thanos. I mean, I think he could have done more. But he'd already done enough in Infinity War where they really want to focus on him. They wanted to focus on the Avengers because it was their last hurrah.
That's true. Number 4 for me is Infinity War. Infinity War is it's the most rewatchable. It's funny. It's got great character development for a lot of people, especially Thor. Thor is probably the MVP of them. Him, Thanos, and Iron Man are the 3 MVPs. And maybe Doctor Strange. A lot of great character moments. Everybody dying at the end is going to go down as one of the most iconic movie endings ever. It's just great. Great cliffhanger ending. That really, it doesn't have to be a cliffhanger ending, because if you look at it as a Thanos movie, that's the end of the story. He killed everybody. That's what he set out to do. If you look at it from Thanos' perspective, that's the end of the story. But if you look at it from the Avengers' perspective, they still have to keep going. And I really like that. Infinity War number 4. Awesome movie.
I had number 7, but it was pretty good. Number 3, I have Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is a spy movie. It's just an awesome movie. It's way different from all the other Marvel movies. There's no movie like Winter Soldier.
It's so different from the first Captain America.
It's different from everything. There's no... Think of all the movies there are.
It's really different from Civil War, too.
Right. It's its own movie. Winter Soldier it's just way different than every other Marvel movie ever made.
Yeah.
It's well made. It's got a good plot. It's my number 3.
My number 3 is the first Iron Man. It's hilarious. Tony Stark has a great arc. Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback role, great villain, great action. The romance is great, very self-aware, very funny. The movie made a lot of great commentary on blockbusters at the time. Great post-credit scene where I'm sure in 2008 nobody thought it would go anywhere, but now seeing it, it's actually really, really crazy. Great movie. Probably the best Phase 1 movie. Best Phase 1 movie. Best Iron Man movie. Best Robert Downey Jr. performance as Iron Man. I don't know, but it's definitely probably his second best or third best. I think his best is probably Endgame.
It's definitely his youngest performance.
Okay, so anyway, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Civil War. Civil
That's
War
my number 2 too.
Yeah, Civil War is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Civil War is an awesome movie. It introduces Spider-Man
And Black Panther.
The fight scene between Bucky and Iron Man and Captain America is iconic. There's no fight like that.
Because it's an epic fight, but it's also emotional. You understand why everybody's fighting for.
Yeah.
Which is like in something like Batman v Superman. You understand why Batman's fighting, but it's like, why is Superman fighting? In Civil War, it's like, you know why they're fighting. Iron Man's mad because he killed his mom, but Captain America wants to protect his friend. So you can see where they're both coming from, but you can also see why they're fighting.
Plus, Ant-Man becomes Giant Man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Spider-Man beats up Bucky and Falcon.
Yeah.
It's just a good movie.
This is probably the best. This movie's probably the best Black Panther. He's the best in this one.
Probably, yeah,
I
because
wish
it
they
has his
kept.
origin.
Yeah, I wish they kept more of the danger in Black Panther. Because in Civil War, he was freaking dangerous. In his own movie, he was like, eh. Okay, number 1.
Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, the best Marvel movie ever made.
Number 1, Spider-Man Homecoming, the best Marvel movie ever made.
Spider-Man Homecoming, I have that at number 11.
Thor Ragnarok, I have that at number 9.
Thor Ragnarok is awesome.
Why?
It's funny.
Let me tell
it's
you,
got
weak
action.
villain.
Weak villain.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's that guy's name? What's the Grandmaster's name?
No, not him, Hela.
Yeah, the Grandmaster's in that one.
But he's not the main villain.
But he's the coolest one.
Yeah, but Hela, she's the main
Jeff
villain.
Goldblum.
But
That
Hela
guy
gets
is
the most
awesome.
screen time as the
He
villain.
literally plays himself.
Yeah, and he's great, but Hela's a boring villain.
How do you figure? She kills everybody.
So she's still boring.
She's awesome.
She has no personality other than she wants to take over Asgard.
Is awesome.
Soundtrack.
When Thor comes down, he has the lightning going, and he's
That was cheesy. That was cheesy.
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 Awesome.
Cheesy.
Valkyrie is a badass. Hulk is a badass.
Yeah.
That movie's awesome.
It is awesome.
I own it on Blu-ray and DVD.
Number 1 best Marvel movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
It's
Let me
not
tell
even-
you,
not in my top
best
10.
Spider-Man movie. You see all that 50 years of Spider-Man. This tops that. Okay, it's hilarious. It's got a great relationship between Peter Parker and Tony Stark. Great villain. Great, hilarious.
It's not
Ned
even
is a
the
great.
Spider-Man movie.
Yes, it is.
What are you, crazy?
It's tied with Spider-Verse for me as the best Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Verse is way better. Like 1,000 times better.
Homecoming?
Yeah.
If Spider-Verse was in the list, where would you rank it?
Spider-Verse, I'd probably have it...
I would have it like number 3 or 4.
I would probably have Spider-Verse right at number 9. I'd have Spider-Verse at number 9, right after Iron Man.
Okay, well, Homecoming is great.
And Homecoming, I have it.
Tom
number
Holland
11.
is amazing. He's the best Spider-Man. All the characters
Tobey
are great.
Maguire?
Tobey Maguire
It's
is
the
a
best
great.
Spider-Man ever.
No, he was. He was a great Peter Parker, but he wasn't that good as Spider-Man. He didn't quip. He didn't have any of the charisma that regular Spider-Man had. Tom Holland is great as Peter Parker. He's friendly to everybody because he's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is supposed to be freaking friendly. And Tom Holland in this movie is friendly to everybody. There's a scene where he's helping an old lady, giving her directions. How much more Spider-Man can you get from that? Spider-Man helping an old lady with directions.
Tobey Maguire's black suit Spider-Man dancing down the street.
That was awesome, but that's I hope we get a scene like that in Far From Home. But
I would say Spider-Man Homecoming is probably about as good as Spider-Man 3. A little bit better than
what?
Spider-Man
Are
3.
you serious?
Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2,
Spider-Man 3 is
Homecoming,
awful.
Spider-Man 3, and then The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing
Oh, those
Spider-Man
two
2.
suck. But
So, I
Spider-Man,
mean, it's not even the best Spider-Man movie. It's like number 3 in Spider-Man.
it's better than the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
The
not.
first Sam Raimi Spider-Man is so dated.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's so cheesy. It's the heart, Osborn. Go for the heart.
It's got the Green Goblin.
Being an idiot.
Yeah, that's what Green Goblin does. He's not like a cool dude. He's a crazy guy.
But he's an idiot. Joker's not an idiot. That's like if they made Joker like Jared Leto Joker. He's an idiot. He's not
Spider-Man,
Joker.
number 11.
Spider-Man number 1. My list is better. Okay? Spider-Man Homecoming is the best MCU movie. Okay?
If you need to go to sleep.
You need to go to sleep. The best
It's
MCU
the best movie ever. Just
Worst
put on
MCU
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Worst MCU movie is Iron Man 2. Second worst, actually.
No, Iron Man 3 is the worst.
Iron Man
but I
2.
will agree, all the Iron Man movies are very good.
The first one is amazing.
It's like a number 8.
You're ridiculous. Age of Ultron sucks. I just want to get that out of the way right now. That movie's terrible. Yeah, that's my list. My list is the correct
We're actually
list.
pretty close.
Actually, yeah, we were pretty close on most movies.
Until the top 5, then you fell off.
No, my list, no. Ragnarok at number 1?
Yeah, what's better than Ragnarok?
Freaking no. You want me to list the top 8? Iron Man 3, Guardians 2.
Not better. Not better.
You're telling me that that Infinity War is not better than Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you why Infinity War is better than Ragnarok. The one boring scene in Infinity War is Scarlet Witch and Vision in Scotland. Let me tell you all the boring scenes in Thor Ragnarok. The scene on Earth where he visits Doctor Strange,
That part's
pointless, filler.
He gets free
Every
beer.
scene with Hela, where she kills him, where she explains her boring backstory to the
Their fight is
executioner.
awesome.
Boring. Valkyrie's backstory, boring. Nobody
Awesome.
cares. Nobody cares
And
about
she's
Valkyrie.
flying in on a winged horse to fight Hela. And
But
all
they
her
make it
friends
look like a
get killed.
PowerPoint presentation. It's a bunch of still frames.
It was awesome.
No.
That's called cinematography.
But I'll give you that, but it was just filler.
No, you'll give me number
And then freaking Surtur destroys Asgard, what?
Yeah, that was awesome. Who saw that coming?
Oh, Odin died. Let me tell you, Odin is like a very important character in the Thor franchise. When he died, did you feel any sort of emotion?
Yeah, it was sad.
No, you didn't.
It was sad.
Stop lying. Nobody cared when Odin
I
died.
cried out loud.
I just want to mention the only movie of these that I cried at was Endgame. That's the only movie that made me cry. Guardians 2 was actually pretty close near the end. Yeah.
I cried when I paid for Iron Man 3. I realized I'd already paid. I couldn't get my money back.
Iron Man 3 is good. Okay? Robert Downey Jr. is amazing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I don't wait. Let me see your list. Why do you have freaking what's it called? Avengers 1 so high?
Because it's a good movie.
It is a good movie, but why is it in terms of story? It's pretty weak.
What are
It
you
makes no
talking about?
sense. Loki gets all the Avengers together, and then
Right.
he's like, oh, that's such a bad plan. He's like, he's gonna plan to get the Avengers together, hoping that they.
No one ever said Loki was a good planner.
But even he would be like.
He's the god of mischief, not the god of planning.
But that's still a pretty stupid move of him.
Well, that's why he lost.
Okay, so let's go through the movies that were me and Dad had them on the same placing. So we had Cap 1, the same 20.
Boring.
Boring, sucks. And then we had Ant-Man and the Wasp 1 apart, which is pretty. We had Captain Marvel at the same. We had Black Panther at the same, which I thought Black Panther lower for you.
No, it was alright.
It was alright. Yeah. And then we were one off on Endgame. Yeah, we're actually a lot closer than I thought we would be. I thought. Do you have any things on my list that you were surprised at? Because I'm surprised you put Captain Marvel so low.
Right, Captain Marvel's kind of boring.
I don't know. I
And
thought
Nick
you'd
Sproul's
put
good guys
I
instead of bad guys,
thought you
or-
would put it above Doctor Strange and Black Panther.
No, because Doctor Strange was visually very pretty, and Black Panther I thought had a better story than Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's story didn't even make any sense.
That's true. Do you have any surprises on my list? Anything too high or too low?
Well, Iron Man 3 should be the worst movie ever made.
I don't understand how you
And
hate
then
Iron Man
Ragnarok
3.
should be in your top 5 at least.
Ragnarok. It's in my top 10.
And then Avengers should be in your top 5. Those are the only ones I really see that are kind of like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Ant-Man, we were one off too.
Yeah.
First Ant-Man movie.
And Guardians 1's better than Guardians 2. I don't know
No,
why you have
Guardians 2 was
Guardians.
Guardians 2 was miles ahead of Guardians 1.
No. Better
Miles.
soundtrack than Guardians 1 too.
That's our list. Next time, join us next time when we rank the Spy Kids movies.